Hi guys, Top Pops here, and today we're going to be comparing Funko Pops to reality. So let's get started. Alright, so this is a bit of a weirder one, but I did want to do this because I thought this was a fun video that we could all do together, you know. So what I've done here is I've compiled about, I want to say maybe 20 to 30 different characters, and we're going to be going through their Funko Pop versus the real character. So anyways, I'm going to show you what it is with the first one as the example here, but I have 20 of them. I'd say about 20 anyways. So anyways, let's start with the first one here so you guys get the understanding of it. But yeah, so I've seen, like, Funko has done some really great sculpts for a lot of characters, and especially when it comes to, like, tattoos on people, and even just making, like, things that you didn't expect to be pops look like a pop. Like, they'll break the mold of just the head and the body, and they'll really go over the top with it. So I've got a bunch of these here today. We're going to start with the first one here, which is the child, or Baby Yoda. So you can see on the left there, guys, there is the real actual photo from the television show, and then Baby Yoda, or the child, is on the right side. So I think this pop is amazing. This is also one of Funko's most sold figures ever, and I totally understand why. It looks great, and it's affordable. With this one being like $10 to $15, depending on where you buy it from, you really can't beat that for a child figure. I think they have some that are like maybe $20 for like the Hasbro Black Series figures. I'm not exactly sure how much those are, but it is more expensive than the pop, and they're a little bit smaller too. They're probably like, you know, the tiny little ones. But anyways, overall, I think this one looks amazing, and yeah, you guys can see here, it looks pretty much like it does in the show. Next up here, guys, we have Post Malone. Now, Post Malone, I actually found an exact photo of him wearing the same suit with the undershirt as well. This might be the one that Funko used as their reference images. I'm not sure, but I do like this, that I actually found the right one, so you guys can see pretty much exactly what he looks like. So, one thing I want to point out with him is because of the tattoos. This is why I put him on the list. He's got the tattoos. They also gave him his hand in the same pose there. He's got the Solo cup in his hand with a cigarette, so all of this is very detailed, and this is pretty much exactly what Post Malone does. The barbed wire across the top of his head looks really great. Also, the always tired under his eyes look great as well. I'm just kind of looking at it here, looking at all the different tattoos. They did take off the Playboy Bunny one. I noticed that. Now, that's because of copyright infringement, which totally makes sense. But they still gave him the little marshmallow tattoo under his eye there, which is pretty cool as well. He's got his nose ring, which you guys can see he has in that picture as well. He has the chain on as well in the pop. So overall, guys, just really detailed, and I think what really sold this figure was the tattoos, because that just made it 1,000 times better. Next up here, guys, we have another reason for kind of the tattoos here, but also the guitar. Now, I couldn't find one with this exact guitar. I looked for a while. Like, if I found one with the guitar, he was wearing a totally different outfit, so I went with the one with the outfit here. But this one here is Shawn Mendes. They gave him his guitar tattoo on his forearm there. He's got the other tattoo on his arm, but the guitar there, you can see where he plays the guitar, it's super kind of worn out. It's actually gotten rid of the paint there. It's all like, you know, smoothed off or chipped off, depending on, I don't know what it is, but he's been strumming there so much that it's actually gone. And that's kind of the point of this one here. It's so detailed. I would say this looks pretty much exactly like he does in real life. They even gave him the hair curl as well. He's got the necklace on, and Funko's been getting more and more detailed when it comes to pops like this, especially with guitars, like I had said. There have been some times where I think they've made the guitar so close that they've gotten into copyright with it. I think there was one time with the Slash one. I don't know if that's true, but I remember they were supposed to pull the Slash ones off the shelves because of the guitar being too similar to the one that he uses, and they didn't get a copyright for it. I'm not exactly sure. Let me know if you guys know more about that in the comment section below, because I don't want to say anything that's not true, but I know I had heard that somewhere, allegedly. But yeah, the Shawn Mendes one looks really great. It's got a lot of detail. I also like that they gave him the tattoos, because it does add a lot to the figure. Same with the Post Malone one. This one here is a bit of a weird one. I put the Wampa on this list for one that looks really good, because I don't know, it looks like the Wampa, but actually I was looking into this. The more I look at the Wampa, I feel like the more I can see the person in the suit. The eyes especially really add something to it that's just like, that looks like a person. I don't know, but they did give him the bone as well, and his hand is reaching out. Like, it looks pretty much exactly the same, like he's coming to get you. The snow on the hand is also pretty cool as well. This is an updated version of the Wampa that isn't actually out yet. This is an Amazon exclusive that I pre-ordered, so cool, when that comes in, I'm going to be excited to review this one. But they gave it the base as well to kind of look like he's in his cave. Cool, something like that. Anyways, it would have been cool if they did like the cave over top, and then it was like he was encased in this. I think that could have been pretty neat. But overall, it's a really great character. It looks, honestly, to be fair, I think the Wampa Pop looks better than the suit does, just according to the eyes there. But other than that, I mean, they got pretty much every single detail on him, and I think it looks pretty great. This one here with Arthur, I thought was a really great one as well. Arthur is one of those characters that I'm so glad that they're turning into Pops. This is another one that isn't out yet, but it does look really, really great. So this Arthur here is him, and I like that they gave him the fist as well, so if you wanted to take close-ups of the meme, you could with the fist, but he's waving as well. They gave him his shirt, pretty much exactly the same. Now, when it comes to Arthur, he is a 2D character, so I'm so glad that they actually made a 3D model of him look really great, because sometimes when it comes from 2D to 3D, it doesn't look the greatest, but I think with Arthur here, they really pulled it off. Too bad they didn't give him the mouth either. It seems like he's missing something there. They could have just gave him a little smirk or something like that, because the mouth on his face is pretty much one of like 5 lines, right? So besides the glasses, the mouth is a big part of Arthur. But overall, guys, they gave him the exact color for shirt, pants, and shoes, so I think it's a pretty neat pop. Okay. This one here is Kool Aid Man. Now, I have a couple things to say about this one. I love the Kool Aid Man pop. It looks more like the original Kool Aid Man. This one here is the new one, so he's a little bit different. I tried to find the exact same pose of him going like this, kind of like he's waving. But the new Kool Aid Man, the eyes and the eyebrows and the mouth and the nose are all actually floating inside the jar, or like the jug or whatever, the pitcher. So the old one, it was on the front there because it was like a costume kind of instead of it being animated. So the new one looks a little different, but also the old one did have those like kind of like droplet eyes. So I think it would have been cool if Funko added those to it. But overall, still an amazing character. I love this one a lot. It's just the new one doesn't look so much like the pop does, but I'm pretty sure Funko was going for the older look anyways. Here we have another ad icon. This one here is Wally Warhead. Now, Wally Warhead's one of those weird ones because you don't really see his body too often. On the Warhead's packet, it's really just his head. Now, one thing I do want to say is that when he's puckering, it's much thinner. Now, I know pop heads are supposed to be bigger, but I feel like they could have made it bigger, but thinner, if you guys know what I mean. Because if you guys look on the Warhead's candy wrapper, it is a very thin head. It's not so much a rectangle or a square. But other than that, I think I did see a mascot of his suit at like maybe a convention, or if they sponsor a team or something like that. I'm not exactly sure where it was, but they did have Wally Warhead wearing that tracksuit. So he does wear it at some times. I also like that they gave him the warheads blowing up above him. I think it would have looked weird if they didn't, because I think pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, every time you see him, he's got that. There might be like some old plush where it's like missing the warhead thing and it's just his head's been exploded, but I think it really does help to show the character of Wally Warhead with the warheads thing above him. Here we've got a good one. This one here is Dwight. Now, Dwight, this is him with the unicorn. And I don't remember what I think it's Princess Unicorn is what it's called. You know, the quote, "My horn pierces the sky." That was one of the Christmas episodes where Dwight had monopolized the Princess Unicorns and is selling all of them for like $500 each. But yeah, this is cool that Funko made this one. So it's got him, one of them with the Princess Unicorn, out of box and in box. So it's kind of like for Funko collectors, that'd have been really cool if they have one with like a tiny pop and an out of box pop. I don't know. Anyways, still a really cool one. They did have a lot of detail on the Princess Unicorn. One thing I will say, though, is that they actually gave the little, like, wand that she holds on the right side of the packaging there, just like it does on the actual box. So you guys can see both Dwights have that, as well as her head is turned towards the side as well, the same direction as the one in the actual photo. But overall, like I had mentioned, this is a really, really detailed one, I will say, and I'm glad they made this, but I'm also glad they popified the doll. I think if they didn't, it would have looked weird, kind of maybe off or whatever. The Dwight is pretty much the same Dwight as usual, but the difference here is that he's got the 2 hands to the sides there with the doll in box and out of box. That's really the main difference here, and I wanted to mention this one because of it being so similar to the actual thing in the show, and I think Funko did a really great job with it. Here's one that I think Funko did an amazing job on. This one here is Marilyn Monroe. Now, I pulled up the exact same photo of her, or at least the closest one that I could find. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one. Now, this is the Entertainment Earth exclusive one as well. I wanted to mention that because the Entertainment Earth exclusive one is black and white, so I didn't change the color on it just for this here. That's actually what the color is. And I think it looks really great because you guys can see Marilyn Monroe. This is her standing on a street grate where she's trying to push her dress back down, and Funko pretty much got that exact. You guys can see there. It's even flowing up on the right side more than it is on the left side, just like it is in the photo. So overall, a really, really great character. And this one here is an Icons one, so I will be picking this one up eventually. There's now 3 Marilyn Monroes. There's one of her with the glasses on that was at the Funko Hollywood grand opening. Now this one, which is an Entertainment Earth exclusive, and then the common version, which is the same figure, but in color. So overall, a really great one, and I think Funko killed it with this one. It looks amazing. Like I had said, with it flowing kind of almost in the exact same direction and kind of like the same pattern. It looks really great. The one thing I will say, maybe I got a different photo, but she does have her arm up looking like she's fixing her hair, when in the pop she's got both arms down. So it's similar. I don't know, there could be another photo of her with both arms down, but still, it's an amazing figure. Here's one that I wanted to talk about. So this is the Bob's Big Boy, or Big Boy from Bob's Big Boys. This here is, you know, the burger joint in, I believe, the California area, if I'm not mistaken. But this one here, I've never been to Bob's Big Boy. I've always wanted to go. I think it'd be really cool to go to one. But this is really cool. But the only thing I will say about this one is I wish they gave him the blue and white and black eyes. I know when it comes to Funko Pops, it's usually just the black eyes. I actually have one of the big boys up there. Let me grab this one. It's not exactly the same, but it is very similar. This is just him with sunglasses on. But you guys can see in the photo that he actually has the blue, white, and black. And I think that really does add a lot to the character with him kind of looking off to the side. I mean, other than that, though, it's an amazing one. They really gave him kind of like the same figure in the body. There with him kind of having like a bigger stomach, I guess you could say. But overall, it's really great. They also have the ones with the hamburger as well. That one is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, limited to like 480 pieces, something like that. This one here is the same as the SDCC one, but with sunglasses. It's up there. It's kind of expensive. It's not the most expensive one. This one here is like maybe 150 to 180. Still a really great character. But yeah, this one here looks similar, but then again, it is a stylized figure, so when you translate it into a pop, it's going to lose some things, like the eyes. Okay, this next one here is Bullseye. Now, this is the Target icon. I'm doing a lot of ad icons because these ones really do make sense when it comes to this. For the longest time, I didn't actually know that there was a Bullseye dog, so this is really cool that they actually have a real dog. I don't know how they have the face paint on there with the target around his eye. I'm not exactly sure. I know he wasn't born like that, so they must have painted it on there or something like that, but it does look really, really great, and I think that's an, you know, it's a cool mascot to have an actual dog as your mascot. But overall, I think this one looks great, and what I also like about this one, this is a cool detail, which I'm sure wasn't intentional, or maybe it was, but he's a dog, and the dog, actually, Bullseye the dog, the real dog, has short fur. It's not like long kind of fur, so the flocking on this one, which is what I put here, the flocked Bullseye, actually makes total sense because it's shorter fur, and the flocking is just very light flocked on the outside. It's not like fur coming all off of it and stuff like that, so it really does make this very accurate. The one thing that I will say is off is that he doesn't have his little target collar, but he does have the red collar. Sorry, not the target, what's it called? Like a target, what do you call that? Like, it's on the collar, like a little, I want to say pendant, but like a keychain, whatever, you know what I mean? Like a dog tag. Dog tag, that's what it's called. But he does have the red collar, is what I'm trying to say here. So it's very similar. I think it would have been hard to get that little dog tag on there. But overall, I think this one's probably the closest to the figure, besides the huge head, because it's a pop. Okay, here's one that I think is amazing. This one here is Han Solo and Carbonite. Now this, I would say, is pretty much exactly the same. Now the only reason I'm going to say it's different is because of the head being bigger, but that's a pop, so I mean, you can't really change that. But overall, this one is amazing. I've been waiting for this one for, I don't know how long. I've been saying this one for years. I did notice that they did make one where it was Boba Fett carrying him out to the ship. It was one of those movie moments, but the problem was that he wasn't by himself. He was kind of on the side. It wasn't even like the main pop. The pop in that was Boba Fett. So I'm glad they made a separate one by itself and that they did the bobble on there. There is a bobble on there, yes. We actually looked at this at New York Comic-Con when we went. He has a bit of a bobble on the front side where his head kind of like the bobble kind of goes straight out and then it kind of wobbles like left and right like that. So it's like, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's like only the front of his face bobbles. But overall, I'm glad they got it to bobble because that's the way that they could make this figure. Because with the Star Wars and Marvel ones, for licensing issues, it has to bobble. So I'm glad they could somehow figure this one out because it really is amazing. But yeah, I would say this one right here is so accurate. I love this one a lot, and I'm so glad that they finally made this one, and I'll totally be picking it up. I have it pre-ordered at GameStop. I just can't go get it right now. This one here. Now, this one here is Iron Man. Now, this is the one from Endgame, and I wanted to talk about this one because of how accurate this one was. I feel like I'm doing a lot of accurate ones and not inaccurate ones. If you guys want to see an inaccurate list after this, let me know because I can totally do that. But I don't know. Anyways, let me know. Maybe it's just ones that didn't translate into pops too well, but if you guys want to see that, let me know. But this right here is the Iron Man one. I love this one. I like that they gave him pretty much everything exactly the same. This one even has like the dirt marks on his face. I would say they should have put more cuts on him, but they did have the same like battle scars and kind of like damages on his suit, which I think look really great. His hand is the same where he's about to snap, which I think looks really great as well. It's too bad they didn't make this one a glow in the dark. I don't think it's glow in the dark anyways. And they did add that base to it as well, which I'm pretty sure was because it was like top heavy or whatever, because the bobble would be a little weird on that one with his knees being down and the feet going back, so maybe he fell forward, so they added the base for that. But overall, this one's probably the most photo accurate Iron Man they've done, because the other Iron Man they did was kind of weird. It was him standing. I know I have it around here somewhere. I don't know where it is, so I would grab it if I could find it. But it's him standing there, and he's got his arm up like this. It's a really great figure, don't get me wrong. I have it. I like the figure. But I feel like this one looks a lot better compared to the movie version of it because, I mean, look at it, guys. Iron Man looks exactly the same in the photo. This next one that I want to talk about here is Sidney Crosby. Now, this is one of those ones that I think they could have changed something up with this. So this one is the Chase version I want to talk about because this one has the Stanley Cup. And this would be his, like, playoff version of him, right? Now, if you notice in the left photo there of him on the ice there, he has a beard. Now, the Pop doesn't have a beard. Now, if you guys don't know this, in hockey, most hockey players grow a playoff beard where they don't shave it till the playoff season's over. So with Sidney Crosby here, he usually grows a playoff beard. So I feel like with this figure here, maybe he should have had a playoff beard. I don't know. Like maybe because it could have been just like a little like stubble or whatever, but just enough to make it look like he's got a beard. Because other than that, I mean, they have done beards on Pops before. I mean, I can't find one at the moment, but I know they have for a fact. Here's an example. Kevin Smith right here. Now, the thing is, I would say, is because this Kevin Smith here does have a beard, but it is popping out a little bit. But when it comes to this one, they could have just, you know, totally done one that was just like another, like, decal or paint on there, so that way they wouldn't have to change the sculpt up. That's the only thing I have a complaint about. Other than that, I mean, this is a really great character. They have the C on the captain. It's even the same away jersey. I think that was an away jersey, if I'm not mistaken. The Stanley Cup looks great. But yeah, I just would have liked that playoff beard on there because that makes the most sense. Okay, this one here we have Toonami Tom. Now this one here, if you guys don't know, is from the Adult Swim after Cartoon Network switches to Adult Swim. It's Toonami Tom doing all the animes. So this one here, I tried to find a good photo of it. It's kind of blurry, but at least it's the same Toonami Tom because he's been upgraded over the years, or at least changed to different kind of styles and different like suits and stuff like that. So I found the original one here, which is this right here. It looks great. I like the figure a lot. I would say this one looks pretty accurate as well. Plus, I will say this, his head is bigger anyway, so Toonami Tom having the bigger head is pretty much what he looks like. So overall, I think this is a really great one. It would be cool if they made a glow-in-the-dark version where like the middle of him glows as well as his hands there as well, or even him in a chair, because he usually sits in the chair to like make a huge one or something like that with like a TV screen that pops up. It has the next anime on it. I don't know how they would do that. They could even do it with one anime that they already have the license to, because then they could show it. I don't know if that would work or if that'd be possible, but that could be really neat. But overall, I think this one is very accurate. Now, the last one that I want to talk about here is Sonic. A lot of people have been asking for a Sonic Funko Pop for the new Sonic movie, and so I pulled up a photo of the Sonic from the new movie, and then the older, kind of newish Sonic the Hedgehog one, because this was the redone version of Sonic, but it's not the newest one like the movie is. But overall, I think this one does look very accurate. The only thing is different is because this is from the video game, not the movie, so the Sonic in this actually has like those, like kind of like flesh-colored arms, I guess you could say. I don't know if it's flesh-colored or if it's like fur, but like a different color fur. I'm not exactly sure, but he still has the gloves and the same shoes. The eyes look better on this one as well. This is the updated version of Sonic as well, not those little eyes. Those are really weird. But overall, I would say Sonic looks similar, but then again, this is the movie version versus the actual video game version. But I wanted to show the movie version because if people were looking to get a Sonic figure, you probably still could buy the video game version and have one very similar to the movie. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other ones that you guys want me to talk about or have any suggestions for ones that don't really look like the actual person, let me know in the comment section below because I totally want to do a video on that as well, especially because we're going to be at this desk for a while now. Also, thank you for all the suggestions in yesterday's video because I actually wrote them down. Well, my mom wrote them down for me. She went through the entire comment section and wrote down like 50 video ideas. So if we're quarantined for a while, we've got some time and we'll have some fun videos coming for you guys soon. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys want to see more from me in the future, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that. But this has been an episode of Top Pops. Popsters, thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.